Hey, welcome back, Big Red Money Pit Garage. Today, I'm going to show you guys a little project I'm working on here. Just a small, quick little video for the OBSs that have that hummingbird effect with the fuel gauge, where it kind of hummingbird buzzes back and forth real fast. Found a company online that's selling a supposedly digital replacement air core replacement motor. I'll show you here in a minute what that before and after it looks like, or at least the before, and walk you through how I will take the fuel gauge out, put it in, and we'll test it out, see if they're any good. And if they are, I'll probably be buying some more. Stay tuned. And here we have the cluster still installed but ready to come out of the truck, and I want to show the hummingbird effect. It's definitely moving around back and forth there. Going to remove the cluster, take the motor out, replace it, kind of show that process in the house, and then come back out, install it, and see if it resolves that. So let's get started on it. All right, so hopefully this video comes out pretty good here. I'm going to try taking this thing apart. I have the new motor here. And I'll link this down in the description below, but as you can see, it looks quite different than the original. I've got forks. I'm gonna try the plastic one, but if it doesn't work, got the cheap little metal one to remove the needle. Unfortunately, I'm sitting at 107 miles on the trip, so might have to reset that. Push the tabs in and push this out. I'm not going to bother cleaning this right now because this is just a temporary cluster, just to get this tested on. So, trying to remember. I think what I'm going to do then is push the motors from the backside in a little bit and then pry up here, try to separate this whole thing, and then disconnect the cable that runs to the odometer and the circuit board that's in here. So let's see on the back side here. Normally I have a screwdriver that you use for little 1/4-inch sockets. Makes a good little tool to push in here, but I don't have that with me today. So I'm just going to kind of push in a little bit on these motor. I'm actually going to show you on the back side where the motor is. You can see these connections for the motors. I'm pushing in on the metal tab on the inside to try to free it up, because that way the motor goes with the front face, leaving the circuit board, the bulbs, and plastic housing behind. Circuit board for the main electronics is inside here. You take that out carefully, not to damage the ribbon cable and everything. So let's see if we can get that going here. Let's see if I can find something a little easier to do that with. I'm not sure I have anything, but maybe this little indented torque here so I can center. We're just going to try it the old-fashioned way here. Prying it from the top. Careful not to damage anything. There's a little push tab. There's a dead bug in there. A little push tab on the wiring. Now that comes out. That's the motor we're after right there. So let's move this out of the way. Okay. And for those of you with the 120 or 130 clusters, these circuit boards cannot be swapped around. They go with the original face. So if I were to put this circuit board in a 120 cluster because the front face looked good and it was damaged and the back was damaged or something, the speed would be off because it's going to put that speedometer needle where it thinks it's riding. So if it thinks it's at 60, that's not going to be 60 on the front face. You know, I learned that the hard way. It's kind of obvious when you think about it, but you know, just in case, I didn't do that once. So we're sitting right at a quarter of a tank on this. I'm sorry, 3/4. I don't think I'm going to be able to put it back in. Yeah. That actually worked. Kind of messed up, but took the needle right off there without breaking anything. And I believe it's a T8 for the back of the motor here, so it should be this one. Oh, looks like I got stuff all different orders here, but so what we're gonna do, each one of these little motors is different. We're gonna take the 2 screws off the back here, and they're just threaded right into plastic. Don't be, you know, manhandling this. It's a simple little, tiny little screw. And the plastic tabs on these motors are keyed so that they only go in one way. This is the top here. So, back to our new one. Let's open this up and see. And this is my first time buying from this company, so I don't know anything about the quality of this. And that's interesting. The keys are different, so it'll sit in there however it wants to. It even has a little USB circuit board there, or USB connector in the back. Hopefully you can see that. Let's see if there's, I don't believe there's any instructions. Their business card. Well, I'm not really sure which way this goes, to be honest with you. I lied to you. I'm sorry, they are keyed the same. So that should go in just like that. So I'm just gonna get the little T8 screw back in place. And get the other one started here. And that goes in nice. This one didn't go quite back in quite as nice, so I'll see if I can. There we go. All right. New digital gauge motor is installed. The depth of the pins looks slightly longer, but that shouldn't be a problem because it sticks out. And the shaft is centered, so we're gonna go put this back together. And once I get it back together, I'll take it out to the truck and show you guys. Thanks for watching. All right, I've got the cluster temporarily installed here. I did go ahead and set the fuel needle where it was before, although I know I got to do it when I zero this out by turning it on. I'm more concerned with how much it vibrates or doesn't. I have not turned it on yet, so you'll see it live as I do it. All right, here we go. It's definitely in the wrong spot, but it is not vibrating at all, so I hope that means it's working. I'm going to go ahead and pull the needle back off, and with it on, I'm going to set it back up at 3/4 of a tank where it should be, where it was. Ideally, I would have filled up the fuel tank and then put it on the high mark of the F where I want it when it's full, but we'll see what happens when I turn it off here. I'm not getting anything on it. Well, it moves a little, so it's getting power. Yep, I'll reset it, and then I'll get back with you guys. All right, now we're back here with the fuel gauge where it should have been. It definitely seems like this fixes that hummingbird effect as advertised. So the company will be listed in the description along with a link to the site. Hopefully they continue to make these super plug and play just like the original. No more having to put dampening oil back in. This should be a problem on just the 98, 99 trucks, because the signal that it receives causes it to fluctuate versus the older computers. The way they did it was direct to the fuel gauge or something with pulse width modulation. But those motors lose the dampening fluid as well, and the fix is to basically, use Miracle Oil or some RC car gear oil in there to dampen it back up, which might work for the old ones, but this will still vibrate, and this is working perfect. I will get a follow-up in a few months. This is just a temporary cluster in my tow pig right now, while the other one's still in the shop. This is just a junkyard cluster that I pulled out. So I will go ahead and probably be buying some more of those motors. So obviously this will work on the other 95, 96, 97s. No more having to fix the dampening fluid on those as well, but those won't be vibrating like the 98, 99, and 2000 heavy duty ones do. So, all right, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Big Red here with a follow-up real quick. I will be doing a major follow-up video or a short little video in about 3 months if this is still working, but wanted to reach out to you guys, see if you have any contacts with companies that are making these that I haven't found yet. The one that I bought was Tannin, and it is linked down in the video description. I'm not sponsored, bought it with my own money for my own vehicle. We'll probably be buying a couple more. I've got about 30 clusters in the shop here. Maybe 1 or 2 have a decent fuel motor. The rest are all doing the vibrating or real loose. This does work on the earlier years as well. It'll keep them from being all loose and going all over the place. This does not fix when you have a bad sender in the tank or a bad ground or something. That is still a separate problem that you have to fix, with proper wiring and using like an AC Delco fuel pump. So, and so hopefully in about 3 months, this motor will still be going good, and can provide you guys a follow-up video. I'm out.